Bulletcast for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know this voice, you know this luscious voice box. But in case if you don't know my name, I'm the Podfather. I'm an instant classic, just like Peyton Royce and Billy Kay. I'm simply iconic. I'm dripping in finesse right now in my estate at noon. Not noon, I'm sorry, 12 a.m. sharp. Jesus, it's been a long day. I was coaching. Actually, I just had them lifting because, that's just what the Podfather does. He tells them to go do something and they do it because that's how I roll. But I'm dripping in finesse in my estate. It's midnight. We're doing it on a Thursday this early. Brandon, he cannot attend because, he has to get ready for Survivor Series and Takeover WarGames. He's going to be on the road. He's going to be at those shows this weekend. But I will be regaining my championship Saturday or Sunday. One way or another, the Podfather will be regaining the championship that he never should have lost. And remember, that's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. So let's get right into it. Outside of the ring. Oh, this hurts my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, my heart has never been so hurt. Becky Lynch, Becky Balboa, the last kicker, the man. I don't know if you knew this, but Becky Lynch is the man. So she was injured in the brawl on Raw, and we're going to get more into that once we talk about, what that segment, once we get to Raw, and then, of course, what happens on Smackdown with her. But I got to say, man, this really sets back Survivor Series. I was pumped. I was like, Becky versus Ronda, because Becky Lynch has been... Really, she's been going for it these last couple months or weeks or whatever, and it's evolution. They did the right thing by having her retain against Charlotte, and I was like, oh my god, so we're getting Becky versus Ronda. Armbar versus armbar, I was excited for it, man. But unfortunately, she got injured when Nia Jax threw a right one at her. A nice stiff one. She's not like most girls, ladies and gentlemen. I've been trying to tell you she is not like most girls this whole time. But yeah, they've been having a little Twitter beef, Nia Jax puts on Twitter an Instagram picture of her fist in a cut from Becky Lynch's face. I believe she has a concussion and a broken nose or something broke in her face, and it's just not good. Becky, she said once she gets better, she's coming after her, and she called her a biatch, and I was like, ho, hey-o! This just got good. And then, Becky Lynch took to social media. She just dismantled Ronda Rousey. I mean, let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find this tweet, ladies and gentlemen, while I talk to you people, while I talk to the fans of the Bulletcast universe. I feel like we should have a specific name for you guys, because you guys are awesome. You guys are the people that help Brandon and I continue this. All right, here we go. I found it. Ronnie TL/DR. When I got my face broke, I got up. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. Ronnie TLDR. When I got my face broke, I got up, owned you, then showed up the next day looking for a fight some more. When you got your face broke, you hid for a year under your blankie. Your mind is as weak as your jaw, and I'm going to move heaven and earth to come destroy them both. Oh my god, Ronda Rousey. She's fire, man. She got fired up. She got fired up. She got lit. She got set on fire with Becky Lynch's words. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was awesome. But Becky, seriously, I hope you recover as soon as possible. I need you back. The wrestling world needs you back. Because I'm going to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you how I felt because Becky Lynch got injured. It's not good. Did you hear it? Let me play it again. Yes, I'm upset. I'm very upset. I'm extremely upset that Becky Lynch will not be at Survivor Series this Sunday. But I hope for her a speedy recovery. Another person I need a speedy recovery for is my boy Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, one of the members of the Elite. I need him to have a very, very speedy recovery. He tore his meniscus. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. Hopefully he has a match at Wrestle Kingdom, my birthday, January 4th, the birthday of the Podfather. So yeah, my birthday gift, I need Cody Rhodes to be nice and healthy and defend and successfully retain that IWGP United States Championship. Cody, get well soon, brother. I love you. I love you so much. All right, Fighting with My Family. It's coming out in February. That is the movie Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson produced and I think he helped direct. I want to say. It's the movie about Paige and her life. It's a biopic. I saw the trailer for it. It didn't look like a traditional. It looked really WWE Studios, and I think WWE Studios did have something to do with this. So you could see why I say that. It didn't look like a traditional normal biopic would or whatever. But it was cool. Selena Vega or Thea Trinidad plays AJ Lee. I forget the name of the girl who plays Paige, but it looked pretty cool, man. There's the scene where The Rock does his shtick on the phone with Paige's father, and he hangs up on him, and I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, I mean, I saw the trailer. I'm gonna watch the movie. I want to see it. It's interesting. They were filming it last year, and at like actual Raws, and the fans who were there got to be a part of the crowd. They had to reenact some moments like when Paige, the night after WrestleMania 30 in 2014, defeats AJ Lee for the Divas Championship. So yeah, that was cool, man. I can't wait to see it. All right, last up on Outside of the Ring, Dean Ambrose WWE Chronicle trailer. Now this one, the WWE Chronicle, this series that they've been doing, they're about 20-minute little documentaries about people returning or coming back. Yeah, about people returning. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, so it's going to premiere on WWE Network after Takeover WarGames 2. And I watched the trailer for it, and it's Dean Ambrose. I think he was really playing up the lunatic aspect of his character here. Wasn't really shooting a whole lot. Maybe he was shooting a whole lot and just worked in some kayfabe with it. I don't know. You see him and Roman joking around together. Of course, they show the shot of him hitting the dirty deeds on Dean. No, not Dean. Seth. The tiredness it's really wearing in on me, guys. I'm sorry. I gotta get this pod done. Gotta get this pod done for the people. Yeah, shows him hitting the dirty deeds on Seth after they win the Raw Tag titles from Ziggler and McIntyre, same night as Roman's leukemia announcement. So yeah, I mean, from what I saw, it looked very interesting. Of course, they show him and Renee, being all lovey-dovey, sharing a little smooch on the lips, But yeah, so it looked interesting. I'm gonna watch it. I enjoy the extra content that WWE puts out like this, and the My Son or Daughter is a WWE Superstar, WWE Chronicle, stuff like that. I enjoy it. It gives me another aspect into these people's lives, so I don't just have to see them on TV, or if you follow these people on social media or whatever. So I like it. I enjoy it. All right, this day in wrestling, there's not a whole lot I wanted to throw on here because we have such a loaded show. So I'm just going to hit you with this. Tegan Nox, she is 25 years old today. Happy birthday, Tegan Nox. She injured herself in the Mae Young Classic against, Rhea Ripley? Yeah. So, congratulations to her. Hopefully she's making a speedy recovery. I really do. And, oh yeah, the Macho Man, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, my God, it hurt. It hurt so bad. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Macho Man Randy Savage. His birthday would have been today. He would have been 66 years old. Happy birthday, Macho Man. We love you. We miss you. The last thing he did with WWE, I think, was the WWE Legends or Superstars video game, where it was like they were really muscular figures, and I did all these crazy flips, and it was all these legends, wrestling the current superstars. I know Sheamus was in the game. I know John Morrison was in the game. I know a whole bunch of other people were in the game. So it's really something very interesting to see, But Randy Savage, like I said, we love you. We miss you. Happy birthday to the Macho Man, the Macho King, the Master of the Slim Jim. Yeah. He and Elizabeth reunited up there. Yeah, I mean, Macho Man, seriously, I'm going to go off on a tangent about him for a little bit. Very few people can captivate an audience the way he did. Very few people can work a promo the way Macho Man did. The whole idea of a promo, you're talking to the fans. He talked to us, but sometimes his back was to us, and that made us engage more. Coffee creamers and on his head, and I'm the cream of the crop, yeah. Stuff like that. I loved everything about it, Macho Man. R.I.P. R.I.P. All right, fan mail. Let's get into fan mail. Let me see if we have any. I gotta make sure we got some, because if we don't, this is gonna be very awkward. Hey, we got one. We got one. Thank God. All right, Mr. Toledo. God, he's like the. I think he set a record for like the most fan mail submitted to the Bulletcast. All right, so my cousin and I were discussing Becky Lynch, and he likes her character, but he doesn't understand why she is the man, while clearly she is a woman. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Actually, no, this is actually pretty funny. I had this discussion with Ulysses, the guy who got Brandon and I stranded in Daly City because his starter broke, and the guy who thought he didn't have insurance. I was gonna throw that out there. Yeah. So Ulysses didn't understand like why she was being called the man, and I told him, and this answers the question perfectly. The term "the man" doesn't have to be gender specific. It absolutely doesn't. Like, so anybody can be the man. The term "the man" means like this person is the best at their field right now. Like, they're on top of their game. They're at the pinnacle of their career. They're at their peak, so to speak. Now, that's what the term "the man" means. It can mean any combination of those things, or it can mean that one specific term that I just or things that I just said. You're the best. You're at your peak. You're at the pinnacle. You're the best in the biz right now. Like, that's what the term "the man" means. Now, Ronda Rousey says she's the baddest woman on the planet, or the baddest biatch on the planet. Sure, but she's not the man. Becky Lynch is the man. It's like back in the day when Ric Flair said he was the man. Like, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And right now, I'm the man, because you see, Ric Flair, he was the man. He was at the top of his game. He was the best in the business, and he played the part. Now, the man, what Becky Lynch is, she's just keeping it real. She's a badass. She's just showing. She's really playing up her strengths on TV recently. That's what she's doing, and I applaud her for it. I love this current incarnation of Becky Lynch, and I'm going to talk about her more, like I said earlier, during Outside of the Ring. I'm going to talk about this current incarnation of Becky Lynch more once we get to the Raw segment, and there was I believe that certain wrestlers have coming out parties, and I talked about how championships have coming out parties. Becky Lynch, the turn at SummerSlam, that was okay. The win at Hell in a Cell was cool. The Evolution match with Charlotte was awesome. But what I'm going to get to on Raw, that was the coming out party. That was her solidifying that she's the man. And we're going to get to that when we talk to Raw. So actually, we're just going to hop into the Raw news right now. Let's talk some Monday Night Raw. Alright, so Braun Strowman makes a statement. He says he wants Brock Lesnar again for the Universal Championship, but he says, he wants Baron Corbin, all this stuff, while Stephanie McMahon's out there, Baron's out there, and then I guess Corbin can get his match. I had to watch the highlights. I was running really late on watching Raw. I didn't get to sit through the whole 3 hours like I do every week. I had to watch the highlights on YouTube. I feel like a terrible fan. Anyway, so what I got from it, because they chop it up to fit into like a 20-minute video for the whole show. That's crazy. Yeah, so what I get from it is I believe Baron Corbin will get his match with Brock, or rematch with Brock or something, but he can't touch Corbin. So I guess that's what that was. All right, and then Ronda Rousey comes out there and she tosses Corbin. So that a whole bunch of stuff there. It was a really congested segment. Like, I'm like, all right, this is way too much happening at one time. I didn't really need it. I didn't need any of that. Didn't need a lot of it. All right, then we move on to Tamina Snuka defeating Ember Moon. Tamina helped Nia Jax see the light with Nia's newly found heel turn. And they say Nia's like the female Big Show. I mean, once she turns heel and face 16 times each, then she'll be the female show, But yeah, so after the match, Nia Jax and Tamina just kind of lay waste to Ember Moon. I like that Tamina's getting some shine on Raw. I guess she is like the Bellas and John Cena. They can just go to whatever brand they please. I guess that's just what happens when you get written off TV. You just get to go to whatever brand you want to. If I were her, I'd want to be on the blue brand. I'd want to be there where we can get a real opportunity. Alright, but yeah, so all that happens. Moving on from that, Seth Rollins is being interviewed inside the ring by the savior of misbehavior, Corey Graves. Seth, of course, wearing the IC title to the ring. And, he still wants answers from Dean, like, why did he do this and all that. And Dean Ambrose is sitting on a red car. I don't know what kind of car it was. I'm not a big car guy. Sitting on a red car, and he just talks about how, they held him back and how he was fighting frustrations. And then he did something that reminded me of... let me just say it. He burns the tactical vest. He's like, I held on to this, and now I don't need it anymore. He burns the tactical vest. And that reminded me of when Chris Jericho burned one of the Y2AJ shirts a couple years ago. And by the way, I should have got one of those. They are not selling those anymore. I'm very, very upset about it. I'm very, very upset about that they don't sell those anymore. I am hurt, and I really wish I had another one. I apologize. My mother was trying to call me. No, but yeah, so he burns the tactical vest. And I was like, oh, man, He's really burning bridges, so to speak. That's what was going on there, and I'm like, oh my God, Dean, you can't be doing this. But what I hope happens, I hope that it's Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship at TLC. Why? Because I will be there. I really do hope that's gonna happen. But I think Dean will interfere at Survivor Series. We're gonna talk about that once we get to the predictions for all that stuff. Now, moving on, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre are in the ring. They're cutting a promo. Drew talks about how Dolph is the best in the world. Then Finn Balor comes out, and all this stuff's going on. And then it just leads to a really good match between Balor and Ziggler, in which Balor steals one from DZ, takes it home. Big win for Finn Balor, and he gets put on the Raw Men's Survivor Series team. I was like, all right, cool, for sure. That's what's up. I dig it. Give Finn a little prominent spotlight. Who's really complaining about that? Put Finn back in the main event. Next Superstar Shakeup, just throw him on SmackDown. Or he doesn't even have to wait for SmackDown or the Superstar Shakeup. Just go to SmackDown. If Tamina and the Bellas can just go between Raw and SmackDown, or Brie Bella can just go between Raw and SmackDown, Tamina can just jump to Raw. Just go to SmackDown. Be with the Good Brothers. Go with AJ. Form the club in WWE, Balor Club, whatever you want to call it. Let's get something nice, hot going. Oh, that'd be amazing. The club or Balor Club. Balor, Gallows and Anderson, AJ versus the Undisputed Era, Cole, Fish, O'Reilly, and Strong. That'd be an awesome match, man. That'd be a really, really, really good one. All right, so moving on from that, Ronda Rousey, she cuts a promo about Becky Lynch. She talks about avocado toast. I don't see the problem with avocado toast. I think avocado toast. Actually, I've never had avocado toast. I enjoy avocados. I do enjoy toast with other condiments or jams or marmalades being slithered or plastered, I should say, plastered on the hard, crusty surface of toast. But yeah, I think I need to try avocado toast. I've seen people eat it. It looks like it'd be a very tasty meal, be very healthy. Gotta get this health kick really going. I'm really falling behind. But yeah, so that happens. Just poking at the bear, poking at the man a little bit more, going through Monday Night Raw. Alright, then we move on to Natalya. She gets attacked by the Riot Squad. This whole feud is just, it's poo-poo, it's boo-boo. Like, I don't get it, I don't understand it. I don't need it. I don't need to see it on TV. I don't need to see it. I gotta be honest, ladies and gentlemen. How happy is Katie Vick? Katie Vick was better than this crap. And I know it was necrophilia and all that stuff, but god damn it, it was terrible. Look, I said it last week, they should have made a point about the glasses. Like, she should have wore them out to SummerSlam along with her dad's jacket. And then from that point on, building up until when the Ruby Riott broke them, and we could have cared like we cared when Francesca 1 got destroyed. Like, it could have been built up like that, but it's whatever. Moving on from it, Ruby Riott has a little bit more importance later on in the show. Alright, so then after that, Paul Heyman, he talks about how the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar, who was on Raw, the Universal Champion, showed up. He talks about how Lesnar's going to beat AJ. That's not a prediction, it's a spoiler, that whole thing. And then Jinder Mahal, the man who was going to be the Beastmaster last year's Survivor Series before he lost the title to AJ, few weeks before that event, comes out there, and oh my goodness. Brock hands the Universal title over to Paul. He's like, all right, I'm going to try this. He actually spoke on the mic. I forgot what he said, but he spoke on the mic, and I was like, hey, Brock is speaking. That's awesome. Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting. No, but what happens after he just destroys Jinder Mahal? Actually, no, he destroys the Singh brothers first. I mean, I forget what Singh it is, but oh my God, dude just flew. Like, he landed on his head pretty hard, and it was like, oh my goodness, what have I just seen? It looked like it hurt. I think it was worse than when Randy back suplexed one of them onto the announce table. It was like Backlash 2017, whatever match where where he beat Randy for the title. Then he suplexes the other one. Then Jinder gets an F5 on the outside, and it was not a good look for Jinder Mahal, the former WWE United States champion. It was not a good look for him. He needs some real Shanti after that. All right, Bobby Lashley defeats Elias. Elias is doing his shtick with the guitar, asking who wants to walk. Actually, you know what? I can't do it justice. I cannot do it justice.
Who wants to walk with Elias?
Who wants to walk with Elias? I want to walk with Elias. Shout out to my boy Bimbo Jimbo. He every time he talks about Elias, he says he gets his steps in by walking with Elias, and I agree. I need to start getting my steps in by walking with my boy Eli. So yeah, he talks about Leo Rush not being old enough. Not being old enough. He says something about Child Protective Services. I was like, this is funny. But yeah, my boy Lashley. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. My boy Lashley picked up the big win. He's on Team Raw, so it's gonna be interesting to see how all this is gonna really play out moving forward with Sunday. All right, and then this is something that really it irked my very, very soul. I'm not gonna lie, I'm upset. God, I could play that Drake one all day. I mean, I am upset about this. Sasha Banks and Bayley, hometown girl. Sasha Banks, I've been on this bandwagon for years. 4 years. Since she was dark-haired Sasha Banks in NXT. That's how long I've been on this bandwagon. These two girls who take over Brooklyn NXT 2015, the first one. Awesome match. One of my favorite matches of that year. Hell, I think, that match is in my top 10 favorite matches of all time. And I've seen thousands of wrestling matches, and that one made it. These two girls, I know what they're capable of. Winner gets the last spot on Team Raw, and then it just ends in a no contest because of Tamina and Naomi. And then Alexa says the fifth member of Team Raw, Ruby Riott. So it's Alexa, Nia, Tamina, Mickie James, Milfy James, and Ruby Riott. So I'm like, really? Okay, alright. Mickie, legend, Alexa, great on the mic, facial expressions, I should say. Nia Jax, she's not like most girls. Tamina, she looks like a dominating force. Ruby Riott, getting this little separation from the Riott Squad. I'm like, alright, okay, cool. But then, ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, I thought Raw was going to go off, and then they switched to this camera backstage, and the camera's scraping, looking at the floor, and then what do I see? I see the man having to disarm her on the baddest woman on the planet. Becky Lynch was making rowdy Ronda Rousey making her biatch, and I was like, oh my God, yo, this is dope. This is awesome. I didn't even think about an invasion angle like they did last year when they were under siege. I didn't even think about anything like that. And then Becky, I was like, oh my God, dude, this is cool, bruh. Rousey selling for her as much as she was. I was like, yo, this is dope. I dugs it. And then Becky Lynch's theme song's playing. I'm like, hey, yo, this is hot fire right now. And the way, I'm going to use the word swagger, like the swagger she had walking down to that ring and then just started laying out people, and then the SmackDown Women's Locker Room makes a run in and they start laying out people, and I was like, yo, this is absolutely dope. I love everything that is happening with WWE in this moment, in this segment right now. I dug it, man. I really, really did. And then this is where the injury happens. Nia Jax stiffs Becky Lynch. She stiffs the man. And Becky goes down. She has blood pouring on her. And this is what I want to talk to you about, the coming out party I was talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here. It was as if 1997, WrestleMania 13, Steve Austin is in the sharpshooter and the blood's pouring down his face. It was as if that moment combined with a year earlier, 1996 King of the Ring, when Austin cuts that amazing promo, Austin 316. It was as if those two moments were balled up into one, and that's what Becky Lynch was. The Irish war paint, as people have been calling it on social media, was poured down her face. And she was just walking up the steps, standing there, looking badass as all hell. And there was a little too much blood, sure. But, like, she looked badass, man. Like, that was her defining moment. Like, alright, the man. Business picks up when the man comes to town. Business picks up when the man shows up. Like, I felt it, man. I seriously did. I love everything that I just saw from Becky Lynch. I am so excited for what's going to happen. I'm extremely excited for what's going to happen when she comes back. But in this moment on Monday Night Raw, I was like, oh my god. I don't think I've ever been that juiced for a woman's segment in quite some time. Like the stuff Becky's been saying online, yes, of course. But or online or in her promos, but I don't think I've ever really felt that much excitement like that. I mean, it was something special. Like Becky Lynch is that's gonna solidify her as one of the best. I mean, she's already one of the best in the business, but I'm saying like that's going to truly solidify her as something truly special in WWE. And we're gonna talk more about Becky Lynch once we get to the announcement of what she had to say on Smackdown. And it's really heartwarming, man. Like I felt for Becky, I felt sorry for Becky. But she wants to get back up, and she wants to fight again. So it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something awesome when she comes back. Hopefully she has a run in at Survivor Series. All right, so moving on from that, let's talk some SmackDown Live, baby. So AJ Styles, he has a promo in the ring. Paul Heyman's there. Styles talking about how he's gonna beat Brock and all this other stuff. And then Daniel Bryan comes out, and Bryan says he has a lot of reasons for wanting to punch Styles in the face. And then he just starts punching him in the face. He just starts laying in on him. The referees and a couple of road agents, backstage officials come out and separate these guys. And Shane comes out and separates them. He's like, no, we need him. We need you. We need you for Team Blue. We need you for Team SmackDown. He has Brock on Sunday. Shane's yelling all these things. And then commercial break, then we go backstage, and Paige, Shane, and Bryan are in Paige's office, I should say. And he's like, what are you doing? You're jeopardizing our chances of winning, Team Blue and all this other stuff. AJ comes in there, and then they start fighting again a little bit, vocally this time. Because, refs are holding AJ back. And then, so they make the match later on in the night. AJ Styles will defend the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Daniel Bryan. Alright, so then since that's happening, Bryan is taken off of Team SmackDown Live. And a match happens between Jeff Hardy and Andrade Cien Almas. Winner gets that spot. Jeff Hardy pulls it out. Swanton Bomb defeats Andrade. I feel kind of bad for Andrade, man. I was hoping he was going to have a little bit more prominent spot on SmackDown. But, it's still kind of early in his career on SmackDown Live. So we shall see. So yeah, congrats to Jeff Hardy. He joins Miz, Mysterio, Shane, Joe, and then, yeah. So that's gonna be interesting. And then so there's a backstage segment, talking about how Miz didn't think Mysterio was worthy or whatever. So Mysterio and Miz have a match, and if Mysterio loses, he is off of Team Blue, but that didn't happen. Mysterio picks up the win, defeats The Miz, keeps his title on SmackDown Live's Men's Survivor Series team. And then, what was it? After the match, Randy Orton shows up, tries to RKO Ray, doesn't get it done, so he RKO's The Miz. I find it funny how how Randy Orton isn't on. He's not on Survivor Series. He's not on this team. He's a Survivor Series legend. I find that kind of crazy and kind of odd. All right, so now we're moving on. We're moving on to the Becky Lynch promo, and I want to play some of it for you guys right now.
You're the luckiest. But now I gotta pick my replacement for Survivor Series. Someone who I know can get the job done.
With this severe concussion, I mean, I can't even imagine what it took for Becky Lynch to walk down the ramp just to be here. So difficult for Becky to come. What?
Go beat Ronda the way I was gonna beat Ronda. You make her tap out the way I was gonna tap her out.
So yeah, there in that moment, she picks Charlotte, and there was I want to talk about this. Let me turn that off. There was a huge pop for Asuka. Like, that match would have been awesome. I know it would have been very, very well done. But I guess they just didn't want to go that route. So that's fine. So it's gonna be Charlotte versus Rowdy Ronda Rousey for in Becky Lynch's place. And I'm gonna get into predictions for NXT and WarGames and Survivor Series later on in the show. But yeah. So I thought that was interesting. So what I think they're gonna do now, I think they're gonna go Rousey versus Lynch at WrestleMania, and it's a little too early for Becky to lose the championship. I'd say the same for Ronda. So what I think, it's either going to be, champion versus champion, or actually that'd be nice. Champion versus champion. We get one woman's championship. I'd really enjoy that. Or they both don't have titles, and it's just a grudge match to see who's going to be truly the best. I'd love to see that. So yeah. Charlotte versus Rousey, I know it's going to be a good match, and I'm going to get into my prediction for that later. Alright, then the Bar Show, as I like to call them, Sheamus, Cesaro, the Bar, and then along with Big Show, they defeat the New Day, just getting the Bar ready for that big match against AOP at Survivor Series. Alright, and then we have to talk the main event. We have to talk the main event of Smackdown Live. AJ Styles is defending the WWE Championship against Daniel Bryan. A really good match, really solid match. As it's playing out, they're playing up that knee injury that Bryan had when he faced Styles ahead of Crown Jewel. I never thought I'd mention that show again, because Daniel didn't want to go all this other stuff, and Daniel lost that one. He tapped out to the calf crusher. So as this match is progressing, the knee's kind of favoring Daniel a little bit. AJ's trying to go for it all. AJ gets put in the yes lock, the label lock, the no lock, whatever you want to call it. AJ makes it to the ropes. Daniel was going to go for that running knee. He misses. AJ hits a Pele kick. All this stuff is going on. AJ's going to go for the phenomenal forearm. He misses, or he doesn't miss. Daniel gets out the way, and he almost hits the ref, and he kind of stops himself. Then Daniel Bryan low blows AJ Styles. He kicks him right in the penis. All right, and we're like, yo, wait, what? And then the ref didn't see, so Daniel backs up, hits the running knee. 1, 2, 3. Your winner and the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is now a 5-time world champion. He held the WWE title 4 times, and he held the World Heavyweight title 1 time. Sorry. 5-time. He just joined the 5-time club. Congratulations, Daniel. 5-time world champ. That's awesome. But seriously, man, so I didn't expect the heel turn to come. I was legit shocked. I was like, yo, wait, what? I love AJ as champion. Some will say his title reign this year has been lackluster in the multiple matches with Nakamura and was it Samoa Joe, but all right, man. Okay, I really don't know how I feel about it. Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar was something WWE wanted to do. In fact, that was how Suplex City was going to be born all those years ago. Daniel was supposed to lose it at that SummerSlam 2014 to Brock, but he got injured. John won a ladder match, became a 15-time world champion at the time, and then he got taken to Suplex City. So that's how all that happened. But yeah, I mean, the newly healed Daniel Bryan, I mean, they had something great with, the heel Miz and the face Bryan. Could they do heel Bryan and face Miz? Sure, they could do something like that. I don't know how long Daniel Bryan's going to hold on to the title. People were saying he was going to be punished because he didn't want to go to Crown Jewel. I said it again, Jesus Christ. But I guess him being a heel is punishment. I don't know. I honestly don't know how it's playing out. But all I do know, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is very interesting. Daniel Bryan, I think this is him, getting what he wants, getting what he feels like he was wronged out of due to injury. By any means necessary, he would take back the stuff that he treasured the most, and he loved being WWE Champion. All the multiple reigns, he loved being world champion. You could see it. You could absolutely see it. So yeah, that happens, and it's gonna be very interesting. Excuse me, going forward with Bryan versus Brock, champion versus champion. That's going to be something sweet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've talked about that. I've talked enough about SmackDown. It's time for the NXT Takeover WarGames 2 preview. So here we go. Here we gizzo. All right, Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black in a grudge match. Johnny Gargano, he is the man who attacked Aleister Black. He cost this man 3 months of his career. Actually, go check out In the Click with Baby Huey and Bimbo Jimbo. They interview Aleister Black on that show. It was released today. Actually, happy birthday, Baby Huey. Throw that out there. Happy birthday, Baby Huey. And, so I got to go with Johnny Gargano. Newly turned heel. It's just too easy for Black to win. It's just too easy. Brandon, he picked not Brian Black, Jesus. He picked Aleister Black to go over, but I got to pick Johnny Gargano. It just seems too easy for Aleister to win here, and then they could progress this over time. I don't know how it's really going to play out, but I know what my heart says, Johnny Gargano. I want to see this heel Johnny Gargano. Hopefully, I'd like to see a heel DIY. Because, Tommaso Ciampa was talking about how he never hated Johnny. Tommaso just saw the light before Johnny did. Then Johnny finally saw the light. And all that was good. I love it. So, yeah, I got Johnny Gargano. All right, the NXT Women's Championship. Shayna Baszler defends against former champion Kairi Sane in the 2 out of 3 falls match. I got Baszler going. Brandon has Baszler going. So, yeah, the way I see this one, I don't think the first fall should happen, in the first 5 minutes of a match. I've never thought that. That's why I love the Iron Man match between Brett and Shawn so much. It went into overtime, went over an hour. Maybe, I don't know, maybe if she gets her in a submission really early, Kairi would want to tap out to kind of consume her energy, and she'd be giving up a fall, but she'd make up for it when she hits that insane elbow drop off the top rope or whatever. So yeah, but this match, how much of a statement would it make if Baszler just goes 2-0, 2-0 in this 2 out of 3 falls match? Because I've seen it before. I actually seen it live, Hell in a Cell 2014, Ziggler versus Cesaro 2 out of 3 falls match for the IC strap. Ziggler 2-0 against Cesaro in that match. I'd love to see that. Baszler just stating how dominant she truly is, and how nobody's truly ready to beat her and take this championship away from her. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be really awesome to see. So yeah, I got Baszler. Brandon has Baszler. It's going to be a good match. I already know it. These girls are going to tear the house down. All right, now the NXT Championship, the Black Heart of NXT, Tommaso Ciampa. He was also on the In the Click podcast with Bimbo Jimbo and Baby Huey. Go check that out. Great interview from him. So yeah, Ciampa defends the NXT Championship against the Velveteen Dream. DREAM is Velveteen Dream. I love Velveteen Dream. You guys know how I feel about the Dream, baby. And I'm picking the Dream to take the NXT Championship away from Tommaso Ciampa. I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it. Black excellence all the way. Let's do it. Let's do it for the culture, Dream. Patrick Clark, let's take it home. Let's do that. Brandon has Ciampa. And, you know, I mean, just like, what's Patrick Clark? Was he 22, 23? This young to be in this prominent of a spot? That's awesome. And, you know, it's always the common thing when somebody loses the NXT title, they usually get caught up really soon after that happens. They probably have another takeover match, and then they get caught up. But with the addition of the North American Championship, and we're going to talk about the champion because he has a big match that night too. With the addition of that title, guys can kind of go down to the mid-card and float around and mess around there and get some stuff done. So I'm excited. I really am. I'm really excited for Velveteen Dream. I want him to become NXT champion, you know. Big E, Black NXT champion. You know, I'm big on culture appropriation, I guess you could say. Not even a culture appropriation. I'm big on doing it for the culture, man. I'm big on doing it for the people. That's why I do a Black Power ranking and stuff like that. I need to see Velveteen Dream go out NXT champion. That'd be a massive pop for me. I'd be marking out at my house in my room watching this. I'm going to be going crazy. I'm going to have to do an emergency Black Power ranking if Velveteen Dream becomes the NXT champion on Saturday night. But yeah, it's going to be cool. I wonder what outfit he's going to have too, you know, because he's always dripping with finesse. He's truly dripping with finesse every takeover. The match with Cassius Ohno, the match with the Aleister Black, the match with Ricochet. He's just doing it, man. And Dream, I could see him going up against a babyface Velveteen Dream as champion, defending against a heel Adam Cole, or maybe any other member of the Undisputed Era. Or maybe he can have a match with a title match with Lars Sullivan, or, you know, just I could see it, man. I could see a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe having a one-off with what's Tucker Knight from Heavy Machinery, or Otis Dorvik. I think that's how you say his name. I can't remember. But yeah, something like that would be really cool. Or even just on a random episode of NXT. It doesn't have to be a title match. Just random matches like that. Random matches like that are fun. They're fun to watch. But yeah, I got the Velveteen Dream. I got him going over. And alright, next up, the NXT TakeOver WarGames match. The Undisputed Era. The Undisputed Era. Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and of course, one of my favorites,
Adam Cole, baby!
are going up against, War Machine, the NXT North American Champion, Ricochet, and the NXT WWE UK Champion, Pete Dunne. I'm really tired. I'm getting them all mixed up. I'm going Undisputed Era. I think they go 2-0 in WarGames. Because it's the whole force now. Last year it was just, Fish, O'Reilly, and Cole. Now they have Strong added to the mix. And I would just think they'd go over like that. Really, really put a stamp on 2018 that they've really done something, you know. Make 2018 the Undisputed Era's year. You know, what did they do? Adam Cole wins the NXT North American title, the first champion. They add Roderick Strong, so Roderick Strong can help defend the tag titles. And then they've had awesome tag team matches with British Strong Style, Mustache Mountain, whatever you want to call them. Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. That match was pretty cool. So yeah, they've just been having match after match after match. It's just been really good. I have these guys going over, man. I do. I'm always about the Undisputed Era. I'm always about the Undisputed Era. So I guess you want to go over my picks one more time. We can. Just to be clear with the people, so they know what's going down. Alright, sorry for the paper noise. Alright, Johnny Gargano, I have going over Aleister Black. Brandon has Aleister Black. Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane, I have Baszler. Brandon has Baszler. Velveteen Dream versus Tommaso Ciampa, NXT title. I have Dream, he has Ciampa. Undisputed Era going up against War Machine, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne. I have the Era, he has the other guys. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's hit it. Let's hit it nice and let's hit it big. We're talking about Survivor Series. Let's get it, baby. Let's talk some Survivor Series. Let me pull up the card, too, so we can discuss it. I know first up is the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. It is Buddy Murphy defending against Mustafa Ali. And there are 4 people contending for my champion, or the Bullet Cast Championship in this one. So I have Buddy Murphy. Brandon has Murphy, Ulysses has Murphy, and Carlos Max Mendoza has Murphy there. So, I think it's going to be a really nice match to get the crowd going nice and hot, fire them up. So, it's going to be fine there. Alright, the Tag Team Survivor Series Elimination Match. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, the Ascension Lucha House Party, the B Team, and the Revival for Raw go up against the Usos, the New Day, the Good Brothers, Sanity, and the Colognes for SmackDown. I didn't know the Colognes were still employed. Jesus Christ. So for that one, I have Team SmackDown, the 10-man tag. Brandon has SmackDown. Ulysses has Raw. Carlos has SmackDown. Why don't Ulysses get that one right and I'd be pissed off. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about that one. It's every tag team on the main roster who's not a champion. This is what they're doing. That's basically all I have to say about that. Alright, the Women's Survivor Series Elimination Match. Oh wait, is Natalya on this match? Oh wait, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I thought Alexa Bliss was in the match. I forgot she's injured. So Natalya, Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamina, and Ruby Riott for Raw going up against Carmella, because Mella is money. Naomi, Asuka, Sonya Deville, and to be announced for SmackDown. I think it's Mandy Rose, because everybody knows I am Mandy's Rose. If you got that, that's what's up. If you didn't, you're a loser. I'm joking. No, yeah, I think the replacement will be Mandy Rose, because Charlotte, she's going off and doing her thing with Ronda on Sunday. But for this one, I have the Raw Women. Brandon has the Raw Women. Ulysses has the SmackDown Women, and Carlos has the Raw Women. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many predictions we get right there. I don't see anything really special happening here. I mean, Asuka hasn't really done anything. Carmella, she's doing her stuff with R-Truth. Naomi hasn't done anything since she won that ridiculous-looking trophy at WrestleMania. Sonya Deville, she's still too fresh on the main roster for me to really be doing something. I mean, Natalya, she's made a mark in WWE. Former SmackDown will be champion. Mickie James is a legend. Nia Jax and Tamina are newly turned heels, and Ruby Riott, she's the leader of a group. So I just see them going over. Alright, now the Men's Survivor Series match. The Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman. The Show-Off, Dolph Ziggler. The Scottish Terminator, Drew McIntyre. The Man Who is John Wayne Tough and James Dean Cool, Finn Balor. And the Destroyer, Bobby Lashley. That's Team Raw. They're going up against the A-lister, the most must-see WWE superstar of all time, The Miz, the Commissioner of SmackDown Live, Shane McMahon, the Destroyer, Samoa Joe, the Samoan Submission Machine, the Master of the 619, Rey Mysterio, and the Charismatic Enigma, Jeffrey Nero Hardy for SmackDown. So let's get it. I got SmackDown. I got the men's team for this one. Brandon has the men's team for SmackDown. Ulysses has the men's team for SmackDown. And Carlos has the men's team for Raw. So yeah, I mean, Strowman, they do find new creative ways to get him eliminated. I remember, what was it? 2016, Ellsworth was holding his legs, so that's how he got eliminated. But I could see Braun being a sole survivor here, because, he wants that rematch with Brock and all that other stuff. And this is Shane's 3rd year in a row being in this match, and he's just there to do something crazy. I don't see anything good. But then again, Joe's lost a lot lately, and Jeff Hardy hasn't really done anything since the Randy Orton feud. And honestly, I could see Randy Orton hopping in there and RKOing like Mysterio and costing, getting him eliminated that way or something like that. I could see something like that happening. But I have SmackDown going over. All right, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Authors of Pain, the AOP, are going up against the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, The Bar. So I know AOP is gonna have Dre Maverick in their corner, and Big Show's gonna be in the Bar's corner. That's gonna be a funny visual, like Baby Huey and Bimbo Jimbo said on this their latest edition of the Click. I think that will be a funny visual. I have the Bar going over this one. I have the Bar. Brandon has AOP. Ulysses has AOP. Carlos has AOP. Hopefully I get that one right and stick it to him. Like, yeah! Oh, yeah! It's going to be interesting. Alright, now the mid-card champion, Seth freaking Rollins. He is the Raw Intercontinental Champion. He will be going up against SmackDown Live's United States Champion, the leader of Nakamerica, Shinsuke Nakamura. I have Nakamura. Brandon has Nakamura. Ulysses has Rollins. Carlos has Nakamura. It's simple. It's easy, guys. I mean, I'm really looking at it like this. Dean Ambrose, he's gonna interfere somehow, cost Seth the match. Gives Nakamura a huge win because he desperately needs one. You know, they've been on commentary. Corey Graves has been saying, oh, he's been very selective with his opponents, kind of saving his ass really on mic. That he hasn't really been doing anything, and I guess it's great writing, creative or whatever. But like, come on, give Shinsuke this big win. Let him. He can beat a former world champion, and Rollins, he won't be damaged by taking this L because Dean will cost him. So Seth will be fine, and this hopefully sets up, like I said, TLC, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins Intercontinental Championship. That's what I will see. All right, now the women's champion's actually just one women's champion versus a handpicked opponent. Rowdy Ronda Rousey, the baddest woman on the planet, the Raw Women's Champion, is facing the Queen, former SmackDown Live and Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. Now, these are interesting predictions here. I have Ronda Rousey going over. I think she beats Charlotte. I do. Brandon has a no contest. Ulysses has a no contest. Ulysses believes that finish needs to be saved for WrestleMania. And then Carlos has Rousey. So if Charlotte wins, then all four of us are going to be wrong there. That's going to be interesting. No, but yeah, I think the match is going to be very well done. I think it's going to be great. I have faith in those women to really tear the house down and show us what's up. The armbar versus the figure 8 leg lock. That's going to be cool. Or maybe Charlotte just pins Ronda dead in the middle of the ring with natural selection. That is a possibility. I'm not going to lie. That is a very, very good possibility that could happen. But you never know in the world of professional wrestling. Alright, moving on from that, the last match. The heavyweight champions. Alright, Brock Lesnar, the WWE Universal Champion from Monday Night Raw, is going up against the newly crowned WWE Champion for SmackDown Live, the Yes Man, Daniel Bryan. I have Brock winning. I know Bryan just got the championship, but maybe AJ does something to cost Daniel against Brock, and then AJ gets his rematch at TLC. I'm just throwing out a whole bunch of TLC talk, because I'll be there and I want to see it. Yeah. Alright, Brandon, he doesn't give me a prediction for this yet, but he will give me a prediction before the show. Ulysses has Daniel Bryan winning, and Carlos says he would say his Brock Lesnar. He has Brock. It's going to be interesting, man. I don't know how they're going to play this out. I really just want to get to Tuesday and see, like, what Daniel's mindset was for turning the way he did. Like, why do this now? Why in this moment would he do such a horrendous thing, really? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, why, Daniel? Why? Why would you do this? Why, sir? Why? I don't know why I started talking like that. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I want to know Daniel's reasoning. It's very, very interesting. All right, so Superstar Spotlight. Becky Lynch. Is there anybody else? Is there anybody else? Really? Shout out Becky Lynch. Badass. She's the man. Hopefully she gets better soon. I want to see her at TLC. I want to see this version of Becky at TLC. I really do. Alright, my promo pick of the week. I'm just giving Becky all the love today, man. So, Becky Lynch, the SmackDown Live promo from November 6th, 2018, where she talks about how, Ronda Rousey's the baddest biatch on the planet, how she's going to make her hers, how she's going to make her mine. Like, that was hot fire. It was exciting. It was revolutionary, I should say. But, I dug it, man. I dig a lot of stuff, I realize, on this podcast. But I really loved it. It made me. Actually, you know what? Let's see. Here, let's see if I can play a little bit of it.
Weird, but apparently effective, and now that is the.
You told me that I wasn't meant to be the talk of the entire industry, but here I am. The champ, the only champ. But you say I should be happy because I have your respect. I have your respect. Well, come Survivor Series, Ronda, you're gonna find out that it's not your respect that I'm coming after, it's your arm. And I don't care if you're the baddest bitch on the planet, because I'm gonna make you mine.
Certainly no fear from the SmackDown Women's Champion either.
You're right. I've gotten myself all fired up. I want to fight. I think I want to fight right here, right now.
And then, of course, let me turn that off. And then, of course, let's see, I'm fired up. I'm all fired up. I'm ready to go. Nikki Cross would come out there. They'd have that match. But yeah, I mean, great work from Becky Lynch. I enjoy her. I love her. I love everything about Becky Balboa. All right, moving on. We gotta talk about this match because I love this match pick of the week here. I absolutely do. It is from Survivor Series 2008. World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho defends against a returning John Cena, and John Cena was spoiling for a fight, I tell ya. Spoiling for a fight, AC/DC. Was it Black Ice? I think that was the name of the album. I actually bought that album when I was like 12 years old. I bought that because I thought it was amazing. Yeah, that was the theme song for Survivor Series, just spoiling for a fight, making his return from. He had neck surgery. Yeah, he had a disc messed up in his neck from a SummerSlam match with Batista earlier that year. John Cena returns. He goes on to beat Chris Jericho, and he becomes the world champion on Raw. Well, for Raw, for the Raw brand. I thought it was cool, man. Jericho. This was during the time where people say he's doing some of the best work of his career now, and then of course the list. But I'm always gonna hold suit-wearing, tie-wearing Chris Jericho close to my heart, telling people that they were hypocrites and parasites, and how that he was the best in the world at what he does. And speaking in that tone, I will always hold that Nick Bockwinkel-esque Jericho very close in my heart, ladies and gentlemen. You can't get rid of it. That Jericho was the best Jericho in my opinion. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at BulletCast, Instagram, The BulletCast, YouTube channel, The BulletCast, Facebook is BulletCast. We're on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play. Email us, please. BulletCast2 is in the number 2, sweetestwet@gmail.com. 99.9 FM, KW in Watsonville. We are on iHeartRadio, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we are. We have a big weekend ahead of us. Look out for another Under the Radar episode from Brandon. He's probably going to be all plastered in Los Angeles. He's staying at the Marriott, I believe, which is the hotel right next to the arena. So he may see some wrestlers there. He may see. What if Brie Bella's there and he sees Brie Mode live? That'd be pretty cool. I just have Total Divas on in the background. I don't know why. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, really do it. I'm excited. I'm excited for NXT Takeover WarGames 2. I'm excited for Survivor Series. I need to reclaim my championship, ladies and gentlemen. I need to reclaim the championship that I never should have lost. I've become one of the greatest BulletCast champions of all time. I'm looking for my third title reign. I'm like Curry. I only do it in threes, baby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, thank you for listening. Brandon will give you an instant analysis of Takeover. I'll give you one of Survivor Series. I'm looking forward to it. It's Thursday. Enjoy the day. Go say happy birthday to Macho Man Randy Savage. Go do all this. And real quick, R.I.P. to Stan Lee. I'm talking about one universe. I should talk about a man who created a universe that people have enjoyed for generations and generations and generations. Past, present, they will enjoy for future generations. Stan Lee, you created a universe I enjoyed during my childhood, and I want to say thank you for that. I loved all your cameos in all these Marvel movies. You will truly be missed. A very creative mind that truly shaped the way that we enjoy entertainment and superheroes. So Stan Lee, R.I.P. brother. We will miss you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Bulletcast. This has been the Podfather. We'll see you next time.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.